No.
You learned your lesson.
I'll drive. It's not a big deal. What's up?
Roster-wise, everything still in order? Any changes or shifts?
We came out of spring semester really well. Still got to wait on a couple grades, but everybody did extremely well with what I've seen so far. I'm very pleased with that. So.
At this point, do you expect everyone to get in academically, or is it?
Yeah. I feel like everybody's on time. There may be a couple guys not be there for summer one, just because sometimes the schools in some states get out later than they do in South Carolina and the Southeast. So some guys may be in summer two, not summer one.
When you look at this offense coming into this year, could there be some positive in the fact that while you had lost Deebo Samuel last year, it allowed a lot of guys to step up and see what it was like to be key players, and now you add Deebo back into that mix? Could this offense be as good as it's ever been?
Well, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity, and certainly Brian stepping into the role he stepped into last year, and then Shy and Ortre having the opportunities they had, and they stepped up and played extremely well. So there's no question that any game experience is obviously going to help and slows the game down for younger players especially. But, I'm excited about the skill guys that we have and that are available to us. We need to continue to progress at tight end, need to continue to progress the running back position and get better up front.
How important is it, and I don't know how you do it, make sure that Deebo just plays all the games? He's such a valuable weapon. Well, is there anything you can do differently than try to help him?
Freak, broken ankle last year. I mean, it's just that you don't go back from a broken bone standpoint and look at training. What were we doing from a training standpoint? That's just a freak thing that happened. Drink more milk, But he's training extremely well. He's going to be ready to go. I know that. Excited about what I saw him in spring do, and moving forward, excited about getting him back on the field.
Do you expect the Supreme Court's decision on gambling to have any impact on your life?
It's not going to have any impact on Will Muschamp's life.
But in college football, do you feel like now it's going to have to be addressed by the SEC, by the NCAA, or?
I don't have any opinion on all that. I really haven't researched it at all.
Right.
Matter of fact, zero.
Yeah.
So I don't really know the impact it's going to have. Obviously, I'm sure it will, but I do think people are betting on college games before they legalize it.
I think you're probably right. So
that'd be a guess.
Legalization wouldn't make you have any concerns about, since it's already going on.
How it would affect what's already going on right now.
Coach, SEC East has a lot of sleeping giants with relatively recent coaching hires. Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, even Georgia. Now that Georgia's taken that step back towards national title contention, how far away do you think the rest of the conference is from entering that conversation?
I think it's all year to year from the standpoint of needing to have consistency in your program, and I think that starts from a coaching staff standpoint. But continuing to recruit really good players that can win on the national level. That's what we're trying to do.
You and Jimbo's relationship change any with him as a guy you play every year now? Will that be different?
We did at Florida and Florida State.
Okay.
So, no.
The same.
No, he's a good guy, a good friend, and happy for the opportunity he got at Texas A&M.
Did he pick your brain any about their roster just because you played it?
No, at the end of the day, him transitioning there will be good, and saw him at the SEC meetings, and we talk occasionally, so he's an outstanding football coach and a great friend.
When you go on these circuits during this time of year, how many, especially when you come up in this area, how much do you hear from the fan base about Clemson and what they're doing? Can we close that gap? Can we get back to beating them and that kind of stuff?
My biggest concern is control the controllables, and that's what we do. And certainly do you get questions, but it's not just about them. It's about Georgia, it's about Florida, it's about Tennessee, it's about everybody. And at the end of the day, we need to control South Carolina. Control what we can control. I know that's a boring message, but that's really, you can't spend a lot of energy and time on things you have no control over. Just worry about what we do.
With recent developments, do you feel like you guys have assembled enough cornerback depth to move Keyshawn really inside full time?
Well, again, we'll see how that evolves, but that's certainly, I think our best lineup right now is Keyshawn.
Are you able to talk about the big red transfers yet, or is that all? Okay.
Coach, going back to Clemson a little bit, last week you said that school's success is good for the state as a whole.
Sure.
Now, you've been a part of some pretty big rivalries over your career, A&M and UT, Florida, Georgia. I don't have to tell you your resume, but how does this one compare, and how is it unique? Besides,
it's as good as any of them. It's unique from the standpoint we don't have a pro team in our state. And so the focal point is Carolina and Clemson year round, and that's part of it.
Who have you seen from the May Mr. anticipation? How many guys are there, and what does it say to you, the guys that kind of
We've got about 50, 55 guys, and I think it's for different reasons. Some guys are in the rehab as far as a hamstring or an ankle. They wanted to get better treatment here in Columbia. We have some guys that are getting ahead academically. We have some guys that are trying to graduate in December, so they want to take some classes. We have some guys that are in internships, and then we have some guys that just wanted to stay and train. Our guys are pretty. We've got a good work ethic as far as our culture is concerned. Our guys understand June 4th when we start back as an entire team back on campus. The guys that aren't here need to be in shape when they get back.
How did that internship situation kind of come together?
That was something Coach Tanner put together that I think is a huge benefit for our student athletes in South Carolina.
Graduation success rate is up to 98%.
Yeah.
Can you just talk how proud you are of that statistic?
13 guys got their rings last week, and 8 of them are going to play for us in the fall. It says an awful lot about the timeliness and guys, the importance of it. We also have 21 different majors represented on our football team. And I'm meeting with every player for the spring exit interview, and I'm going through and looking at the different majors, and it's amazing. Some places have 2. We have 21, and that says a lot about the diversity, the variety of different things our guys are doing academically, and the job that Maria Hickman and our academic staff with the Doty Anderson Academic Center, which I saw Miss Doty today. So just a fantastic job, the best I've ever been on.
That academic diversity, did that play any role in your decision to practice in the mornings? Because my understanding is there's some science labs and stuff that can be a problem.
When I first talked to Maria about it, there was some discussion that she felt like it would help us.
Right.
But our student athletes love it from the standpoint of they have some free time. Because normally as a student athlete, when you have classes and tutoring in the morning, and then you're getting out of practice at 6:37, you're going straight to dinner, and then you got to go back to study hall or maybe class that night. There's no free time in the day, and our guys are in the building from 7 to 11. That's our block in the morning. They're taking their classes and tutoring in the afternoon. A lot of times they got their nights free. But they know they got to get up at 6 in the morning to get back at it the next day. But to me, it's a great training for life, because whether you're working a job or whether you're playing in the National Football League, you're getting up at 6 in the morning to go to work in most cases, in most situations. When I was in the NFL, we did everything in the morning. Every NFL team that I know, they do everything in the morning. So it's training them for after college.
Jemiah's healthy?
Yeah, he's good. I saw him today. Looked really good.
What's he?
He's been cleared for everything.
So he can do the whole summer. Debo, what will he do? Can he do everything?
Yeah, he's doing most everything.
How is Bryson's sort of return rehab been? Where is he at? Bryson Allen.
Oh, Bryson, yeah.
And just what was it like watching him have to sit out as much as he had? And what do you think he can kind of maybe be for you guys next season?
Well, Bryson needs to be a playmaker for us. He was a tremendous asset for us in the first 2 ball games, and played extremely well for us. He gives us a lot of depth on our football team because he's a guy that can play Sam, Mike, Will, or Buck. In rush situation, play the buck. He can also play stack back or inside. He's a tremendous leader for us. But he's been cleared. He's doing everything right now. And I'm really excited to get Bryson back on the field.
Coach.
Good.